Welcome to our Lenten calendar. I have the privilege of choosing one for every Sunday's reflection. Before I talk about mine, can I say a huge thank you to all of you who are taking part in this exercise, because it is providing the most wonderful treasure trove of paintings and reflections. So thank you for that. I don't know how you've been occupying your time during Lent, not just Lent, but also lockdown. Lent and lockdown, the two words seem to easily blend one into the other at the moment. One of the things I've enjoyed doing over the year are jigsaws. I never used to be a great fan of jigsaws when I was younger. I used to never do them at all, but all of a sudden over the last year, I've really got into doing jigsaws. And not just sort of small ones. I once, I think about 3 months ago, I did a 2,000 piece jigsaw. Now that was very hard work. But the hardest one I've done is the one I want to share with you now. It was only 1,000 pieces, but I must say 1,000 is still quite impressive, I think. But what made this one hard is that there was one predominant color, and that was gold. Because my painting I want to share with you is affectionately known as The Woman in Gold, but its title, official title, is Portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer, and it was painted by Gustav Klimt between 1903 and 1907. You can see a picture of my jigsaw. It's got the most, to start with, I tried to do the edges and the corners, and there must be a lesson in life there. That's for another sermon, another day. But I also try to do the easy bits first. And it just so happened, because the predominant color was gold, to do the face of Adele, actually, it was hard, but it fell into place relatively quickly. And so to do a jigsaw like this, it probably took me a good 10 nights, a couple of hours each night. It's probably about 20 hours worth of jigsawing there. But throughout those 20 hours, once I got the face, I had this beautiful and haunting face watching me as I created or put together the rest of the painting around her. That's my personal recollection of what I think is a stunning painting. But the story behind the painting is incredibly powerful, but it's also one of hope as well. Adele, who you can see in the painting, she and her husband were unable to have children. So she lived with the family of her brother-in-law in their home, the Bloch-Bauers, in Vienna. And they were a very successful and hard-working family. And as you can see, they had beautiful things around them. And Adele's husband commissioned Gustav Klimt to paint his wife. And so this painting sat in the salon of their house, their flat in Vienna. And Adele, because she had no children, became a second mother to the children in the house, to her two nieces. You can probably see where this story might be going. I've already given you an indication of timescale, painted in 1907. The family was a Jewish family. And so when the Nazis invaded Austria, they stood no chance at all. Adele sadly died young. Her husband did manage to escape to Switzerland, but left behind the rest of the family. And the parents of the niece were both arrested and taken to, became part of the horrendous story of the Holocaust. And not only were they taken, but their possessions were taken as well. And the painting ended up in the museum in Vienna. Other pieces, particularly the necklace that you can see Adele's wearing ended up on the neck of Hermann Goering's wife. He gave it to her as a present. Adele's niece, who by now was married, she managed to escape with her husband, an opera singer, and they managed to get to America, where Adele's sister had also escaped to, but leaving behind their parents and leaving behind their beautiful possessions. Later on in life, Adele's niece, by now 80 years old, living in California, decided that she wanted to see if she could get the painting back of her aunt Adele. And so there began an amazing battle with the authorities in Austria to get back what was rightfully theirs. In the end, the Austrians made it so difficult and contested her right to have her painting to the ninth degree that when the painting was finally given back to the family, the niece, who had always hoped that it might stay in Austria, was so demoralized by the way she had been treated by the Austrian authorities that the painting today can be found in where that family created their new home. The surviving members of the family ending up in America. And the woman in gold, Adele Bloch-Bauer, now hangs in a museum in New York, where her extended family were forced to find a new home. I tried to retell the story of that painting. You can see it told much better than me by watching an amazingly good film called The Woman in Gold with Helen Mirren, which tells the story. And I would thoroughly recommend it as being not just an insight into the Holocaust told from a distance in a sense, because what we would perhaps associate with a film about the Holocaust, you don't see that visually, but you feel it emotionally through the characters, the family in the film. The Woman in Gold.